Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First and foremost, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Dr. MAZWANI BINTI MAZLAN for her guidance, support and valuable feedback throughout this project. So today, we are going to present our project title, Herora Web Portal Repository. So we are from CDIM2634B. My name is Nurul Huda binti HASERI and I will be present together with my team members. We will walk you through the layout, design, features and content architecture of our website.
Now I will start with the introduction of our project, Herora Web Archive Repository. Web archiving is the process of collecting and preserving website content for future access, research, and historical purpose. It protects online information from deletion, modification, server migration, and site expiration. Our project has two objectives. First, to develop Herora as a structured web portal repository for hair loss awareness resources, and second, to provide continuous open access to archive web content for education, research, and healthcare awareness. Herora is a centralized open access repository that preserves reliable online resources related to hair loss awareness. These include clinical research, prevention methods, haircare routines, and diagnostic articles. To archive these websites, we use HTTrack and web recorder. The archive content is stored in the Herora repository where users can search metadata, browse archive website, and download preserved files. The portal is developed to ensure it responsive and user-friendly. Next is the comparison between the two web archiving tools used in our project. HTTrack is an open source tool that downloads static website content, but it has limitation when archiving modern websites with JavaScript and dynamic features. In contrast, Web Recorder captures interactive content, multimedia, and complete website layouts. Based on our comparison, Web Recorder achieves better capture quality, metadata management, and replay accuracy, making it the main archiving tool for Herora. Herora offers several important advantages. First, it provides long-term preservation by protecting valuable health information from deletion or updates. Second, it improves global accessibility because users can access archive resources anytime and from any device. And lastly, it reduces storage and maintenance costs through digital preservation while providing a scalable repository that supports future research on healthcare communication and haircare trends. Web preservation is important because it prevents the permanent loss of digital information caused by website updates, domain expiration, and link rot. It preserves scientific information, cultural records, and historical versions of medical guidelines and treatment recommendations. By maintaining the original text layout, source code, and multimedia, web preservation ensures that archive websites remain authentic and useful for researchers, healthcare professionals, and future users.
I will explain our web archiving methodology and preservation design for the Herora web portal. First, our repository is developed as a web portal which allows users to access archive content in an organized and user-friendly way. We select a clean and structured theme to ensure that users can browse the content smoothly without confusion. In addition, we implemented a navigation bar as an important feature of our website. This navigation bar helps users easily move between sections and quickly locate the information that they need. So, referring to figure 1, this shows the horizontal navigation flow of our website. The main menu consists of 5 sections, which are Home, About Repository, Hello Courses, Product Recommendation, and Collection. So all these menu items are arranged in a single row at the top of the website, allowing users to navigate efficiently across different sections. Next, referring to figure 2, this diagram shows the structured navigation flow of the web portal. This structure explains how each main menu is connected to its subpage. For example, the above repository section include repository background, objective, and preservation policy. The Hello Courses section include genetic, hormonal, medical, environmental, and lifestyle factors. The product recommendation section includes shampoo, hair serum, supplement, medical treatment, and product review. And the last one in the collection section includes article archive using tools like HTTrack and web recorder. I will explain the layout and page design of our Herora web portal. So our website is built using HTML, which provides the basic structure. We also use a bootstrap template to create a modern, responsive, and clean layout. Additionally, we refer to W3 School to modify the design and improve our styling. Next is the navigation and header area. The navigation bar is placed at the top of the website. It allows users to easily access different sections such as home, about, Hello Courses, product recommendation, and collection. So for the header, we include the main title, preserving hair wellness knowledge, along with a short description explaining the purpose of the repository. So for the main content area, we organize the information into 3 main cards. The first is the Herora archive, which acts as a digital library. The second is Courses research record, which provides scientific and clinical information about Hello Courses. The third is product and treatment archive, which contains product and treatment information. This structure makes the content easier to understand and explore. Next is the footer area. The footer includes copyright information, a short system description, and its academic purpose. It is placed at the bottom of the page to provide additional information to users. Now, for the web features. First, helpful navigation ensures users can move easily through the website using a clear menu structure. Second, our website uses responsive design, which means it can adapt to different devices such as desktop, tablets, and smartphones. This improves accessibility and user experience. Next is the content architecture. Content architecture is used to organize all information in a structured and logical way. This helps users quickly find relevant information about Hello Courses and treatment. For structured content, the website divides information into clear sections such as Hello Courses, research, product recommendation, and collection. This makes the content easy to search, access, and use across the website. Lastly, we have content model and information architecture. The content model ensures a consistency across all pages using a standard layout like header, navigation bar, content, and footer. Information architecture focuses on organized content into logical categories, so users can easily navigate and understand the information.
Hi, my name is NAJLAA SAFIAH, and now I will be presenting about my section which focuses on the implementation of Herora. This section explains how the repository was developed using web archiving technologies and metadata implementation to preserve reliable online resources related to Hello. Besides explaining the implementation process, I will also discuss the preservation plan, risk management strategies, relevant Malaysian legislation, stakeholder benefits, and finally conclude with future recommendations. The first implementation component is metadata. Since Herora is a web portal repository rather than a MySQL database repository, we implemented HTML metadata within the head section of every web page. The metadata includes important elements such as the page title, description, keywords, order, language, right statement, and open graph metadata. These metadata are not directly visible to users, but they provide machine-readable information that helps browsers, search engines, and digital preservation system identify, organize, and retrieve archive web pages more effectively. We also categorize our metadata into 4 types, which is descriptive, administrative, preservation, and technical metadata, which support resource discovery, repository management, long-term preservation, and also storage management. Next is the web archive preservation plan, which explains how Herora preserves archive web pages over the long term. The preservation process begins with data capture using HTTrack and web recorder. HTTrack is used for static web pages, while web recorder preserves web pages that contain dynamic and or interactive content. After that,
We define the project scope by selecting only reliable websites related to hair loss, scalp health, treatment methods, and product recommendations from trusted healthcare and educational organizations. The archive websites are reviewed every 3 months to preserve updated versions whenever significant change occur. Finally, multiple backup copies are maintained, and quality control activities such as archive verification, hyperlink testing, metadata validation, and archive status checking are carried out to ensure that archive resources remain complete and accessible. Moving on, like any digital repository, HARORA also faces several potential risks. Dynamic websites may not be completely captured, so we use web recorder to preserve interactive web pages. To prevent broken link and incomplete archive, we regularly validate hyperlinks and repeat the archiving process whenever necessary. We also maintain multiple backup copies to reduce the risk of data loss. For quality assurance, every archive web page is reviewed by checking its archive status, archive size, number of files, metadata consistency, and also accessibility before it is made available in the repository. HARORA also considers the legal aspects of the web archiving. First, the Copyright Act protects the ownership of original digital content. Therefore, HARORA preserves web pages only for educational and research purposes while acknowledging the original resources. Secondly, the Personal Data Protection Act ensures that unnecessary personal information is not collected or redistributed during the archiving process. And last but not least, the Communications and Multimedia Act promotes responsible publication and management of online information, ensuring that archive resources remain trustworthy and ethically managed. The HARORA repository provides benefits to several stakeholder groups in Malaysia. Higher education institutions can use the repository as a practical learning resource for web archiving and digital preservation. Students and researchers benefit from reliable archive references that support assignments, literature reviews, and research activities. Healthcare professionals can refer to archive educational resources related to hair loss and scalp health. And finally, the general public gains access to trustworthy archive information, while information professionals can use HARORA as an example of repository development and metadata implementation. In conclusion, HARORA successfully demonstrated the implementation of a thematic web archive repository that preserves reliable online information related to hair loss and scalp health. By integrating HTML metadata, HD track, and web recorder, the repository supports long-term digital preservation while improving the organization and accessibility of archive resources. Although the current repository focuses on selected websites, future improvement could include expanding the archive collection, implementing automated archiving schedules, integrating cloud-based preservation, and enhancing search and metadata filtering functions. Overall, HARORA highlights the importance of web archiving in ensuring that valuable digital information remains accessible for future education, research, and public references. That's all from me. Thank you.
So next we'll proceed with our website archiving repository called HARORA. So first, this is the homepage. It provides an overview of the repository and introduces the main purpose of HARORA itself, which is to preserve reliable information on hair loss research and evidence-based product recommendation. So users can easily navigate to different sections through the navigation bar at the top. So next is the about repository page. So this page explains the background of HARORA, including its objective, preservation policy, and repository framework. So our repository aims to preserve trustworthy online resources, organize them using a standardized metadata, and provide an open access to archive information to for the future reference. And now moving on to the hair loss causes page. So here the information is categorized into 5 main factors, which included genetic factors, hormonal factors, medical condition, life factors, and environmental factors. So this organization all allows users to explore different causes of hair loss through archive articles and research material. And for the next page is a product recommendation. So this section archive evidence-based hair care products basically into categories such as shampoo, hair serum, supplement, medical treatment, and hair tonic. So each category is intended to help users find products that are supported by clinical research rather than marketing claims. So when users step into the collection section, they are greeted by our web archive dashboard. So as you can see on this screen, Herora splits its web preservation strategy into two distinct processing methodologies depending on the target web size architecture, which is HTTP track and web recorder. So this dual tool framework allows us to review comprehensive system logs, core records, and precise data structures for every single captured page. So let's first look into the HTTP track preserve archives log. So as you can see, HTTP track act as our static server mirror and source extraction engine. So when looking closely at this log, you can see how the repository transparently tracks the technical outcomes of our crawls. So based on that, you also list the website name, the specific topic targeted, the download duration, the total storage size, and the exact number of local files successfully extracted. So to solve the limitation of static crawling, we also implemented the second tool, which is the web recorder preserve archives log. So as you can see, web recorder provides high fidelity dynamic recording logs, which are absolutely crucial for modern beauty portals that rely heavily on interactive script, ingredient dropdowns, and dynamic styling. So unlike static mirror attempts, our web recorder log demonstrate a flawless execution, achieving a yes status record across all targets, including Care Hospital, Mayo Clinic, and Kratasi USA. So this dashboard registers the precise start, date, and timestamp of the high fidelity recording, along with the single compiled web archive container file size, which can be viewed in real time by clicking the action button. And by integrating both static data structures and high fidelity interactive recordings, Herora successfully logs in an immutable, fully interactive historical backup of critical hair research